books? You have your books? Okay, open your books to page 379. Okay, we're going to look at the mission section on page 379. So open your books. Yes. Okay. There is a box there in the bottom right-hand corner called the Student Volunteer Movement. Let's look at that box at the bottom right-hand corner. Okay? Who would like to volunteer to read that? Luke, thank you.
One of the most important movements in foreign missions was the Student Volunteer Movement, SVM. This organization began in 1886 at a Bible conference in Massachusetts hosted by D.L. Moody. Spurred by an appeal to consider foreign missions, 100 college students pledged themselves to become missionaries, taking as its motto the evangelization of the world in this generation. The SVM grew rapidly. It is credited with ultimately sending 20,000 missionaries to the mission field.
Okay, so this organization began in 1886 at a Bible conference. So what begins as a Bible conference, D.L. Moody, the famous evangelist, preaching and teaching the Bible, it says here that 100 students were encouraged to take the good news of Jesus overseas. But this begins a movement, the SVM, the Student Volunteer Movement, and eventually, how many people become missionaries? 20,000 people go to the mission field. That is a lot of missionaries. And what was their motto? Their motto was the what? This generation, the evangelization of the world in this generation. So their goal was to take the good news of Jesus around the world, to every people group, to every tribe, to every nation. And they tried really, really hard. And they really took the gospel and advanced it a bit more than it had been. They went to Africa, they went to different parts of Asia, and made a big difference. Now, they were part of a movement that your book talks about, faith missions. So let's look here in your book at that one of your black terms called faith missions. What in the world is faith missions? Any ideas? It's not going without support, but it's how you get support is changed. Now, traditionally, most churches belong to a denomination. So in Korea, you have like Goshin, Chongshin, Tonghak. There's different Presbyterian denominations. So, say in America, like if you were a Presbyterian or Baptist, you wanted to be a missionary, that denomination, not just your church, but every church in the denomination would support you and send you overseas. But then this changed over time to where my church would support me, and then I would go to people, and they would support me as well. Not just the denominations, not just the Presbyterian churches, but individuals as well. So your book says here, the denomination collected money from its member churches and in turn paid salaries to the missionaries so that they could continue their work. Faith missions, on the other hand, are usually independent mission boards that have no guaranteed income. Even today, missionaries under faith boards go on deputation to visit local churches directly and solicit support for their work. So, one of my friends, so there was a couple here in Busan, they were teaching in Busan, they attended my church. They wanted to go to South America as missionaries. So what they did was they went home and then they applied to a mission board, got accepted, but then they needed to raise money. So then they went to church, to church, to church, to to church for 3 years. They would every Sunday go to a different church and basically say, "Hi, I'm Bob, and this is my wife Becky. We love Jesus. We want to go to Peru. Give us money." Right? And they did that for 3 years, asking and asking and asking and asking and asking for money. Finally, they got enough money, enough people giving them money every month. Not one time, but every month, every month, every month. And then they could go to Peru. And finally, they're in Peru. And now they're learning Spanish.